business news now, and Ari Rabinovich is off, so business editor Kris McCusker will be joining us all week. Hey, Kris.
How are you, Cynthia?
I'm good. I see your shirt. I see you. I'm sure you were in pain on Saturday, but let's talk Taylor Swift. Were you listening to her this weekend?
I was. Were you?
I did listen, yes.
Yeah. She's done it again, Cynthia. 1.6 million copies of the Tortured Poets Department sold in the U.S. on day one. And that was in all forms, vinyls, CDs, even cassettes. Industry experts are expecting the album will hit 2 million very, very soon, so less than a week, very likely. A milestone that's only been achieved by two other albums since 1991, Adele's 25 and NSYNC's No Strings Attached. Now, Spotify reported more than 300 million streams globally on day one, so the platform's biggest debut ever. This is not bad for a billionaire with a world tour that already brought in $1 billion, which is also a record. And yeah, Cynthia, it's not over yet. Tour still goes.
Incredible. I mean, what an accomplishment for her. Now, let's turn to Premier Doug Ford. He continues to push, and we could call this an accomplishment, or he will for sure. He continues his push to establish Ontario as an electric vehicle production hub.
Right. So this would be the third EV-related announcement, a plant announced by Honda, according to the Canadian press, set to build this electric vehicle battery plant and EV car maker near its auto manufacturing facility in Alliston, Ontario, so just up the 400. And senior sources with information on the project confirm the federal and Ontario governments will make the announcement this week. Comments today by the Premier and the Economic Development Minister suggest the project is valued at between 14 and 15 billion. Now, this comes after Volkswagen announced its EV plant for St. Thomas last year with a $7 billion capital price tag. And then we've also got the Stellantis plant in Windsor. Now, Honda's deal involves two key part suppliers for their batteries, with the locations for those factories elsewhere in Ontario set to be announced at a later date. So we're still waiting on specifics around the dollar value, and we don't know exactly when this announcement will be made. We just know it's coming at some point this week.
Okay, and this is set to be a big week for the markets, Kris, and it's already off to a profitable start.
Yes, we did see gains. The S&P and the NASDAQ did snap 6-day losing streaks. Bay Street higher for a fourth straight day. Now, there are big names set to report earnings this week. That includes Tesla, which will report after the bell tomorrow, speaking of EV makers. An expectation here for a drop of 40% in operating profit, along with the first revenue decline in more than 4 years. It has not been a great run for shares in Tesla. The stock lower for a seventh straight day today and down by more than 40% this year. Earnings also to come this week from Alphabet, Boeing, another company that's been struggling, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft. On this side of the border, we get earnings from CN Rail, Celestica, and Imperial Oil. And we also get retail sales data that will be released on Wednesday, which is basically a snapshot of the consumer as we wait on those interest rate cuts by the Bank of Canada at some point soon.